Everything's gonna be alright.
Hello everybody, this is Jon Easdon with Anglers Covey, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Bug of the Month. It's April, so we have a new bug. Well, and while it's not really a bug, it is in my book. So it is springtime, and in the springtime I start thinking about scuds. There's a lot of bugs to think about in the spring, but scuds really kind of get me excited. Every year in the spring, flows are going to start increasing. There's still some substrate in the river, and any tailwater or really anywhere that has a lot of substrate, you're going to find a healthy population of scuds. We're up on the South Platte River today, which does have an excellent population of scuds. And honestly, I think it's one of the most overlooked fly patterns out there. Scuds are a crustacean. They're pretty closely related to shrimp. And in the water, they represent a very valuable food source for the trout. Every fish in the river knows what a scud is. The really interesting thing about scuds is they're available in the system year-round. And again, we'll especially start to see them as flows come up. Anytime the flows come up, it's going to knock those different and bigger food sources loose and into the current, making food for the fish. Now, one thing to realize about scuds is that they are excellent swimmers. So within the substrate, they will work around that substrate really voraciously. And actually, sometimes you can even see the trout picking apart the substrate, trying to get those scuds out of the substrate. And unlike most of the bugs that we talk about on Bug of the Month, the scud really has one life stage. They start small, and then they get big, and then they die. So typically, the scuds that we see in the river, live scuds are oftentimes green, and I've actually seen them like almost clear, translucent, or a whitish, grayish color. You see a lot of tan scuds too on certain rivers, and then when they die, they actually turn orange or even pink. So up here on the river today, we've actually had success on all colors of scuds, with the dead scud being kind of the best one. And that's not surprising, being that a lot of the winter time, the cold flows, all that kind of stuff, in the springtime in rivers and still water, we see a lot of dead scuds. Well, there certainly are live scuds. The amount of dead scuds are going to make up the majority of the bugs that are actually in the river. Now, scuds are pretty interesting in the fact too that we're going to find them in the river around any substrate. So if you are out on the river this spring, go somewhere, grab a big handful of substrate, weeds, moss, something like that, and you can pick through it and actually see a bunch of scuds. Now in the river, when they're in the drift, although they're good swimmers, they're pretty helpless and they kind of just roll down the current. And fish really key in on them, especially when they're in numbers. Where scuds are really going to travel down the drift is going to be closer to the river bottom. So when you're fishing the scud, you want to get it down. Scud pattern is an excellent searching pattern too. So here in the spring, when you're seeing blue-wing olives and even still midges going on, add that scud to the mix, because if you're in an area where scuds are present, fish will pick it up. Now, rigging for this is really simple. You would set it up just like a normal nymph rig. Actually, we were playing around today, even fishing it kind of a Euro style with a jig style scud and still picking up fish. So The key with the scud is really to get it down. Heavily weight it, either if you tie weight into the scud or weight it above the scud, you want to get that bug way down on the river bottom. Now with the scud, you're gonna see all different sizes of scuds in the river. So it's best to actually seine the river and see basically the average size of the scuds you're seeing. And you can also get a really good idea on color. In the South Platte River, we see scuds anywhere from probably a size 20 clear up to a size 12, I'd say. Today it's been really solid on a size 18, so definitely on those on the smaller side of things. Again, it's a good idea to see what's actually in the river so you can properly match that. But when you tie these bugs, you want to tie them, you know, in whites, grays, tans, greens, orange, pink, in a variety of different sizes. So when we're imitating the scud pattern, you want to tie these in a variety of sizes. In the rivers, we pretty much see scuds in sizes anywhere from 20 clear down to about 12. And then in still water, they're actually going to be quite bigger, probably about 16 to even 8. While there's not a lot of commercial fly patterns that are scuds out there, a couple of our favorites are Dorsey's UV scud and the Slapshot scud. And with a lot of limited good patterns out there, you really don't have to think too hard about fly selection. We'll be showing you actually one of our favorite scud fly patterns a little bit later this month as part of our Bug of the Month video. So stay tuned for that. Remember, be sure to stop in the shop and ask anybody in the shop if you have questions about scuds and how to fish them or what patterns to get, and we can help you out with that. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you a little bit later this month.